So my KDP is working today. We're going to give this a try and publish this book. I am Amanda and I make KDP books on the side for a living. I do pretty okay. And we are going to get right into it. So in the last video, we made a journal in BookBolt and we are going to now publish that book. So this is what your bookshelf looks like when you actually sign up for KDP. And I won't go down too far because then you will see what I have. But here is kind of what it'll look like. You can do the hardcovers and stuff, but we are sticking to paperback today. So what you're going to do is hit create new titles and you're going to hit paperback. I've already pre-done this to just kind of make it a little easier. So yesterday we did journal for women and you want to put exactly what is on your cover of your book. Do not stray from that. I have gotten kicked back for that, so it's not worth it. Okay, in your subtitle, you're going to not keyword stuff, but put relatively descriptive keywords in there, okay? So I put journaling, a notebook for adult ladies. It sounds natural and it's not overly too much. Okay, and then we're going to go down here to author, and I put Shaggy Rogers for fun, but you should use a pen name. You can use your actual name, but just be aware that you are out there in the universe when that happens. So when it comes to pen names, run it through the trademark system. Be creative and know that you are stuck with whatever you put in there. You cannot change it. So if you build a brand, which you can use a brand name, or a pen name and you actually make money, you are stuck with whatever you've created. I get into that in another little mini video, but just pick something cute, okay? So we're not going to worry about that right now. Let's go to description. So I use ChatGPT for this example. Here's what I typed in here. And then I just had it make one for me. And then I read it over and changed what I needed to change. When it comes to emojis, there is a little bit of a flip-flop there. Some people say KDP doesn't like it. Some people use them. I don't, just to be safe. So I have taken all of that out of that description area. This is where the book is like sells. Okay, this is where you want to put a pitch in there that actually has a purpose. So every book has a purpose, and that is what people on Amazon are shopping for. So show them your purpose and then show them some features of your book that, you know, are unique. Okay. You can also write one yourself. You don't have to use Chat GPT. I've wrote them, you know, by myself before Chat GPT existed. Here, I own the copyright. Yes, you always want to choose that. Hopefully you own all the commercial rights to everything in your book. I talk about that a lot. Public domain work is for like Romeo and Juliet or something like that. So you will always pick the top one. For this is not relevant, so we are going to skip this. Your primary market is a .com. I am in the US. You can pick others, but the main marketplace is .com. Categories. Now, this is where we used BookBolt 2 to pull up our categories here, and I took 3 of them and just put them in there. You can change them, just be relevant to your book. This is where you get those bestseller tags and all of the breakdowns for. So the more you break down, the better it is, okay? They give you 3. You can ask KDP for more. As long as they are relevant, they will give you more. I think all of my books have 6 or 7 of them, like the max amount. Okay, now we have the section low content. Today we are low content because journals are low content. So journals and line notebooks are low content. Medium content books would be like coloring books, activity books, and then high content is like your novels. Okay, so today we are low content. Keywords. So we use some of the keywords from BookBolt Studio here, or not BookBolt Studio, but normal BookBolt. And I just threw some of those on there for examples, but anything related to your book that you can think of, you want to put in here. Fill them up as much as possible. These are what people type in to the search bar, and that is what comes up. So you want as many relative keywords as possible there. So we're not going to worry about the publication date or any of this area because we are publishing today. So let's just save and continue. Okay, now here's where we get down to the nitty gritty of the book. So, for this, because it is a low content book, they do not allow you to have barcodes anymore. Back in the day, they did, but then they took that away. If you did have a medium book, then you would get a barcode and an ISBN. Those are free on Amazon. If you can purchase your own, if you want to source outside of Amazon, okay. But I always use the free ones because I don't really care. I'm exclusively on Amazon. So you will still get seen. I promise your code on the back will just look different because you're a low content. And then here we chose black and white because it's the cheapest. You want to stick to whatever you put into that book bolt. Trim size, that is the overall size of your book and the overall size of what you created. You can change this. Just make sure it matches up to what you created, okay? Because they will kick you back for that too. Okay, so we've got our no bleed and our bleed. We have discussed this. Bleed is PDF only. Bleed lets you go right off the page, okay? Coloring books, line notebooks, just straight off the page. You usually want that. When you pick no bleed, you have to deal with margins and stuff like that. So just avoid all of that and hit bleed. The cover finish is totally up to you, whether you want it in matte glossy. I have done both and I like both. I prefer matte, honestly, but I like both. And then here is where you are going to upload your separate things that we got from BookBolt. Okay, you've got your cover and your interior, hopefully in a PDF form separately. And then you would just hit upload for both of these and they will automatically upload for you. This is also where you can use the cover creator for KDP. I've never done that, but all things need to be in PDF form. Okay, and then once it's uploaded, and you'll get your little like thing here, then you can move down to the AI generated stuff. Be honest, if you have AI generated stuff, list where it comes from. They aren't going to judge you. It's not a big deal, okay? But today we don't have any AI. I have used it. I am not opposed to it at all. I think it's a great source for especially coloring books, but be careful because it can look ridiculous, okay? Once you've done all this, you're going to be forced to launch a previewer to make sure everything is good. Okay, they will not let you get beyond this point without clicking on this. So they're going to make sure that there is everything inside these lines here. And you have to go through and just kind of make sure. I mean, it will list on the side here if there is any problems and what page the problem is on. So we are good here. So I approve this. And we're going to wait for the load. It has been slow, but it has been working, which is what we want. Okay, here is where we get to the print cost. So for this book, this is how much Amazon is charging us to do print on demand. Okay, this will be taken out of the whole situation. This is how much they are charging you. All right. And this is just the rundown of everything that we had already done. So we're going to save and continue. And we are going to get to where our pricing is. Okay, so you're always going to pick all territories. You could pick individual, but you'd be surprised where you can sell out of. I sell out of Canada. I sell out of UK. I've sold out of Japan, which is insane to me. So don't be afraid to just go for it all. Okay. Then we know our primary marketplace is .com. And here's where we get to the pricing. Okay, so this has been a little funky and they've changed some things. So you can have your minimum price, which a lot of people do just to get sales, and you will have zero royalties. Okay, and I don't think that's smart. I don't understand it. I've tried it and it hasn't worked for me. So at least get something out of it. We used BookBolt Studio here in the product search. It will show you the average, and I would base it on kind of that. So here is the lowest price, the highest price, and the average price. That's why I had it, I think, listed at $9.99. If you do, let's see, if we do $8.99, it's going to automatically generate. Now here's where we've gone a little bit too low. So, and that's okay. It's all up to you. So you only get 50% of royalties here. This is what has changed. So if you want to get the full 60%, you have to go above a certain level, right? And it says it right here, which is why I had it set to $9.99. So you want to get the full amount. So let's do $9.99, and it's going to auto generate again. And you can see that I will get the whole 60%, which is $3.69 per book. Okay, Amazon takes their portion, they take the printing cost out, and you get the last 60%. That is the breakdown of what it is. Okay, and this is all auto done. Okay, you're just going to get royalty checks, and all of this is done for you within the Amazon system. So expanded distribution I cannot use today, but this usually means that they will send it out to other marketplaces. You will get less, I believe it's 40% of the royalties. It could be less than that. And it will send it out to, Barnes and Nobles and stuff like that. But we don't have that option today. You actually have to meet the requirements like it said. And we'll view that in another video. I have a few like that. But you can see it auto-generated all of them for you. And as long as you are okay with what is listed here, then I wouldn't change anything. It's not worth it. I've had Japan come up one time as 0, and I'm like, okay, that doesn't make sense. And then I changed it, and it's not a big deal. So once you're happy with all of this, you are time to hit publish. You can hit publish, okay? So don't request a proof. It comes all marked up, and it's not worth it. Just wait for it to be published, and then you can get your books for print cost. Okay, you have to wait for them and pay shipping on them, and I will talk about that in another video because it's actually worth it to buy it full price instead of waiting, because you still get that royalty money back. So we'll break that down in another video, but for today, you would hit publish, and you are going to have to wait your couple of days, and hopefully they don't kick it back. This book would definitely go through, and we would be actively up in the market in just a few hours. And so that's pretty much it. We will talk about what happens after you publish, because I know it's a leave it and forget it kind of situation, but you've seen some of those where they've got some pictures and stuff where there's a lot you can do after that book is published. So I'm not going to publish this. Obviously, I would never put out something like this necessarily, and that is okay. That's not my style at all, but that is the deal, and I will definitely talk to you later. All right, bye.